The thing I do is to deter any hostility, any kind, breaking. If you look at the whole thing, you would see it really does plain harm. They give immense pleasure. They give immense pleasure. I too get immense pleasure. Every single thing I do, every single political thing I do, is to deter war from ever starting. Not only nuclear war, but conventional war, which is terrible. All right, if it's done in entertainment, take it as entertainment. So please don't take it any other way. So,
but Crass has made a lot of very self-important claims that, you know, that it's helped awareness, that it's given out information that otherwise wouldn't have been gained. Yet, I mean, I'd still assert that, you know, nothing of real value seems to have come of this.
What I hope we've done, what I feel we have done, is to give people an awareness of themselves. You can only say to people, is the life you're leading the one that you would actually choose? What is it that you really want to do? And what is the best way for you to lead that life which you wish?
There's something I want to say about the state of the nation. The way you treat us today. At school they give you shit. Drop you in a pit. You try to get at me. Can't because they fuck you about. Then you're a prime example. And that ain't mustn't be. This is just a sample. It's up to you and me. Do they owe us a living? Of course I do, of course I do. Oh, us a living. Of course I do, of course I do. Oh, us a living. Of course I fucking do. They don't want me anymore. Put it on the floor. You used to call me sweetie, I know what is blighting. Now that I am different, love to bust my head. You love to see me come out, love to see me think. Do I owe us a living? Cause I do, of course I do. Oh, us a living. Cause I do, of course I do. Oh, us a living. Of course I fucking do. Every day is on to me, I'm never gonna get. Back at this I roll up, I'm saying next day. Give you an apartment for something you ain't done. Make sure I'm better, and then if it isn't wrong, do I owe us a living? Cause I do, of course I do. Oh, us a living. Cause I do, of course I do. Oh, us a living. Cause I fucking do. Don't take any notice what the public think. So much I'm in TV, just don't wanna think. You should have a target, bring out to the bus. When you don't wanna wear it, say you're full of fuss. Do I owe us a living? Cause I do, of course I do. Oh, us a living. Cause I do, of course I do. Oh, us a living. Cause I fucking do. Read the evening papers about the National Front. They go out and they do it. They're such a bunch of cunts. They make safety pins of silver and gold. The bastards who buy them, they know what they've been sold. Whose side you on? Whose side you on? Whose side you on? Make sure with a spare, make sure with a spare. The X-Wing commander who's confronting you with school church in your mama, proclaim and you're fucked. Now be reasonable, respecting the law. So where does it get you? You've been there before. Remember? Whose side you on? Whose side you on? Whose side you on? Make sure with a spare, make sure with a spare. Whose side you on? 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 Make sure with a spare. Whose side you on? Whose side you on? Get in line. Whose side you on? Get in line.
We burn our mistakes and we wash and they burn. We feel Well, gentlemen and ladies, my name is Inspector Savage from Scotland Yard, and this gentleman is Detective Constable White. I'm here today to ask you some questions in connection with complaints we've received. I'll ask you the questions and my colleague here will take down the replies. Now, you understand that you have been cautioned. Firstly, I'd like you to identify this record.
O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and I am not silent. But thou art holy, O that inhabitest the priests of Israel. Our fathers trusted in thee, they trusted and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee, and were delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not confounded. But I am a worm.
I am no feeble Christ, not me. He hangs in glib delight upon his cross, above my body, lowly me. Christ forgive, forgive, holy he holy, shit he forgives. Forgive, forgive, I, me, I vomit for you, Jesu, Christi Christus, puke upon your papal throne. Wrapped you are in the bloody shroud of churlish suicide. Wrapped I am in the bloody cloud of hellish genocide, petulant child. I have suffered for you where you have never known me. I too must die. Will you be shadowed in the arrogance of my death, your valley truth? What lights pass those pious heights? What passing bells for these in their trucks? For you, Lord, you are the flag-bearer of these nations, one against the other that die in the mud. No piety, no deity, is that your forgiveness? Saint, martyr, goat, Billy, forgive, shit he forgives. He hangs upon his cross in self-righteous judgment, hangs in crucified delight, nailed to the extent of his vision, his cross, his manhood, his violence, guilt, sin. He would nail my body upon his cross, as if I might have waited for him in the garden, as if I might have perfumed his body, washed those bloody feet. This woman that he seeks, suicide visionary, death reveler, rapist, grave digger, earth mover, life fucker, Jesu, you scooped the pits of Auschwitz. The soil of Treblinka is rich in your guilt, the sorrow of your tradition. Your stupid humility is the crown of thorn we all must wear. For you, master of gore, enigma, stigma, stigmata, errata, eraser. The cross is the mast of our oppression. You fly there, vain flag. You carry it. Wear it on your back, Lord, your back. Enola is your gaiety. Suffer, little children. Suffer in that horror. Hero horror, horror hero, hero shimmer, shimmer hero, Hiroshima, 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 Hiroshima. The bodies are your delight. The incandescent flame is the spirit of it. They come to you, Jesu, to you. The nails are the only trinity. Hold them in your corpsey gracelessness, the image that I have had to suffer. These nails at my temple. The cross is the virgin body of womanhood that you defile. In your guilt, you turn your back, nailed to that body. Lame-ass Jesus calls me sister. There are no words for my contempt. Every woman is a cross in his filthy theology. He turns his back on me in his fear. His vain delight is the pain I bear. Alone he hangs, his choice, alone, his voice. He shares nothing, this Christ, sterile, impotent, fuck-love prophet of death. He is the ultimate pornography. Hear us, Jesus. You sigh alone in your cock fear. You lie alone in your cunt fear. in your cock fear, cunt fear, woman fear, man fear, alone in your fear, alone in your fear, alone in your fear, 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 warfare, 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 warfare. Jesus died for his own sins, not mine.
None can keep alive his own soul. A seed shall serve him. It shall be appointed to the Lord for generations. They shall come and they shall dwell with righteousness on a people that shall be born and be left blameless.
Shave Women Collaborator!
talk about revolution. Oh, that's fine. But what are you going to be doing come the time? Are you gonna be the big man, the Tommy gun? We talk of freedom when the blood begins to run. Freedom has no value if violence is the price. I want your revolution, I want anarchy and peace. You talk about fighting power, you violence as your soul. You speak of liberation, and when the people roll, ain't these people rule right now with limits for their feet? Just another set of minutes, their rifles are to me. But what about those people who don't want your new restrictions? Those that disagree with you and have their own convictions. You say they've got it wrong because they don't agree with you. So when the revolution comes, you have to run through. You say that revolution bring freedom for us all. Well, freedom just ain't freedom when your back's against the wall. You talk about fame power with violence as your tool. You speak of liberation, and when the people rule, well, only people rule right now with those for their feet. Just another set of figures, they're up for such a label. You indoctrinate the masses to serve your new regime. And simply do away with those whose views are too extreme. Transportation details can be left to British Rail, where Cyclone B succeeded, North Sea gas will fail. It's just the same old story of man destroying man. We've got to look for other answers to the problems of this land. You talk about great power, with violence as your tool. You speak of liberation, and when the people rule, well, ain't these people rule right now with those for their feet? Just another set of figures, they're up for such a night.
Vive la revolution! People of the world unite! Stand up, men of courage! It's your job to fight!
All ain't very easy, this revolution can. But when you start to really play, things won't be quite the same. Your intellectual needs are how it's got to be. That seems to take into account the true reality.
ideas created. It's just the same fascistic games, but the rules aren't clearly stated. Nothing's really different, cause all government's the same. They can call it freedom, but slavery is the game. There's nothing that you offer, but a dream of last year's hero. The truth of revolution, brother. Brother, 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 brother.
1945年8月6日、日本の広島は人類最初の原子爆弾の被災地となりました。その結果として25万人の人々の尊い生命が奪われたと伝えられています。その3日後の8月9日には長崎にも原子爆弾が投下され6万人もの人々が亡くなりました。現在どのくらいの人々が原子爆弾の後遺症で亡くなっているのかは把握できません。原爆による死因の過半数はやけどであると伝えられています。原子爆弾の投下地点から半径2分の1マイル以内にいた人々はほとんど亡くなり、生き残った人々の半数も数週間以内に放射線障害で亡くなりました。長期にわたる放射線障害もまた悲劇をもたらしています。白血病、放射線障害、発育不全、悪性の病気等は寿命を縮め、そして死に至らせています。放射能は風によって何百マイルもの広範囲に拡散され、雨や雪に混じって土壌の中に堆積されていきます。地球上で行われる原子爆弾というのは計り知れないほどの兵器と死者をもたらします。
Till I bouncing me. The system I got you, but it won't get me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stand in control, are you gonna let it get you? Gonna be a prisoner of band state set you. Say you wanna be a summer kind of thing, I'll let you. They're out to get you. Hello, this is the Lord God, can you hear? Hellfire and damnation, what I've done for you down there. On earth I have ambassadors, I'm Bishop, Vicar, Pope. We'll find you with morality, you best abandon any hope. We're telling you, you'd better pray, 'cause you were born in sin. Right from the start, we'll build a cell, and then we'll lock you in. We're sitting holy judgment, condemning those that stray. We offer our forgiveness, but first we'll make you pay. And don't control, are you gonna let them catch you? Gonna be a prisoner of bad they set you. Say you wanna be a summer kind of thing, I'll let you. They're out to get you. Hello, now here's a message from your queen. And think ahead of the status quo, I set the social scene. I'm most concerned about my people, I want to give them peace. So I'm making sure they stay in line with my army and police. My prisons and my mental homes have ever opened door for those amongst my subjects who dare to ask for more. Unruliness and disrespect are things I can't allow. So I'll see the peasants grovel if they refuse to bow. And don't control, are you gonna let them get you? Gonna be a prisoner of bad state session. Say you wanna be a summer kind of thing, I'll let you. You're out to get you. Introducing the bird sister. She's a mother to us all. Got a Dutch boy's finger in the dike, her arse is in the wall. Holding back the future, waiting for the seas to part. If Moses did it with his faith, she'll do it with an army. Overtime of fair crisis, a certain to be there. Going national heritage, no matter what or where. Palace for king and queen, smash for the rich, protection for the wealthy, defense of privilege. They've learned the ropes tonight, engaged in civil war, fighting for the ruling class. Their battle is not poor, so I shall not in this island of mine. Great being for the bollocks, you bear them behind. Red every other corner, stand and see when I let fall. God of the future, in with the law. It's days to remind it, no matter what you do. If balance in the side, then it's 3 yards on you. You've got to have the volley, you understand school. They've got your name and number, it's just what they will. You've got to look for methods to undermine us bound. It's time to change the table, the future must be ours. an anarchist. But no one ever tried to jump a bullet down the steeple. You'll never be the system, but for me number 10. Did the death of my friend, must be mad people. You must have lived to one, but they'll be back again. If you don't like the rules they make, refuse to play their game. If you don't want to be a number, don't give them your name. If you don't want to be called out, refuse to hear the question. Silence is a virtue, use it for your own protection. I try to make you play their game, refuse to show your face. If you don't want to be beaten down, refuse to join their race. Be exactly who you want to be, do what you want to do. I am he and she is she, but you're the only you. Hello. Vehicle, come! Real fucking idiots. Coming in! Monster
thrust of the Falklands operation came...
I think she is responsible in the final analysis for the conduct of her government, that she should be considering an early resignation.
With regard to resignation, no. Now is the time for strength and resolution.
We are interrupting this programme to make a special announcement. At 4 o'clock this morning, British Standard Time, Britain's Premier, Margaret Thatcher, called an emergency summit meeting with the Foreign Secretary, Lord Carrington, in the Royal Room of 10 Downing Street. A 5 o'clock deadline had been set to find a solution to the increasingly tense situation in the Falklands. Mrs. Thatcher was said to be moist with anticipation as Lord Carrington entered the door, nervously holding the knob. The eyes of the nation were on Mrs. Thatcher as she confidently slipped her hand into her brief. She knew that the little red button, now at her fingertips, could unleash an orgy of physical combat. As she commanded Lord Carrington to make an entry, she knew that she would soon feel the weight of power on her shoulders. She had always covered up in the past, but the imminent possibility of close combat obliged her to reveal all. After running through the usual preliminaries, Lord Carrington felt abreast of the situation, and Mrs. Thatcher was delighted to show him the little red button and demonstrate its uses, most notably its connection to the hotline receiver. To enable him to get on top of the job, Lord Carrington was ordered to get seriously stuck in, and at all costs, because of the gravity of the situation, to avoid simply running through the motions. Nervously, he touched the little red button, but as Mrs. Thatcher excitedly pushed it towards him, his finger slipped, and he missed the mark, leaving the Premier feeling well round all. However, not to be frustrated by the weakness of others, Mrs. Thatcher determined to finish the job herself, and, having dismissed the unfortunate Lord, grabbed the hotline telephone and put the receiver to its devilish work. Within seconds, the hotline was a frenzy of activity. After years of anticipation, Mrs. Thatcher's forces were heading towards a climax, sliding apprehensively towards endless oceans, an unstoppable power breaking through its rival. This was her finest moment, and at its peak, she cried, "England expects every man to do his best. I know nothing of failure. We are going to win."
Fucking leaving the island, the robberies are coming! Back up to the Falklands for your sea-famed man! Big men to go dreaming! What's it gonna come? Was on the bridge between us! My God, you should have seen us! That big ahead with the ready fence! Jackie Reagan Venus! Rigging in the rigging! On up imperialist farm! Now we're shaking streets! They find in the kind of path! Take a pick and a brick! With a shit on his dick! And sticking in the royal! Sticking in the royal! Sticking in the royal! Help out!
Dick pip! Snot! You fuck!
When you woke up this morning, you looked so rocky-eyed.
You're listening to LBC Reports. It's 13 minutes to 4, and no doubt you've been hearing in the news today or during the course of LBC programmes that the Attorney General has been asked to prosecute an anti-Falklands war record under the Obscene Publications Act. The record, How Does It Feel to Be the Mother of 1,000 Dead by the group Crass, is already reputed to have sold 20,000 copies since its release 6 days ago. It attacks Mrs. Thatcher's decision to send the task force to the Falklands, accusing her of lusting after war. Here's a sample. Well, Conservative MP for Enfield North, Tim Egger, says obscene lyrics towards the end of the disc make it the most vicious, scurrilous and obscene record ever produced. With me in the studio now are two members of Crass. Gentlemen, your decision and your response to the accusation.
The accusations that have been made against us are that the record is obscene. I consider that Margaret Thatcher, her government, Mr. Egger, and all who support her are responsible for sending young men to be slaughtered, which in my view amounts to premeditated and calculated murder.
All right, you've made your point. Let's hear from Mr. Egger. Why do you feel it's necessary to prosecute? Because swearing is widespread in other areas, the cinema, the television, the theatre?
Well, look, what I do object to extremely strongly is the actual language used in the last song. Now, I know that you've had to consult your lawyers over exactly what words I can repeat, because you're frightened of the legal consequences of me reading out the words in that last track. Well, it's not now wait a moment. No. That is how bad it is. And it starts off, the last song starts off with the words, "You shithead, slimy, got it all." And then it gets worse from there.
All right, you dirty, horrible luck, get your bleeding haircut! No, sir, I won't. Take bomb in the Falklands, we are in the Falklands, fucking take me the islands, and Mexico's not coming. Take bomb in the Falklands, we are in the Falklands, fucking take me the islands, and Mexico's not coming. Take bomb in the Falklands, we are in the Falklands, fucking take me the islands, and Mexico's not coming. Back up to the Falklands, while you're sleeping fast. Revenge on the street and their barrel of gun. Bring it in a reggae. They're some kind of age-old wisdom, but we've been at like that before. It's just the rich exploiting the poor. Well, here's an honest confession. We think it's time they learn a lesson. They've tried to tie the people down, but we've simply gone underground. Moving in the darkness, looking for light, looking for a future and ready to fight, looking for the freedom that's been denied. Fast to attack and fast to hide. In a world where the people can't make it, simply got to learn to break it. And if the wealthy aren't prepared to shake it, okay, we'll simply have to take it.
Inasmuch as the grand social circus has been created through the forced labour of the people, so, by our labours, will it be destroyed.
Just a Revel trick, it's always him to keep in with dissension. And if an arm's doing is the record boss, the record labels can run him at a loss. This money well spent to control the trust. What I don't break gets spent, sure. Alright, Jill, sitting on the fence. 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 The people are bored by a parasite who mindlessly entertain and take rich figures from the bomb down crowds who pay to bury their pain. While the crowds in the pantomime don't give a toss and sing about fucks and pants and loss. Sliding around the genital front, that rolls things down the drain. That's really wonderful, well off the wall, that's really, really marvellous. Sitting on the fence, really terrific, well out to love, that really is a marvel. Sitting on the fence, breathing and posing the life pretense in a cynical mockery of comparing. Where you can't see a turn, a barrel of shit, but that's the idea of sharing. Yeah, pieces in, it's a dumb and old track. Buy a little quick with a green up pack. The busy's clean to kill or cash. Let the people scream their Jerry! Alright Jack, alright Jill, the penny's mighty and looks like Jill. Alright Jack, alright Jill, then one hand to get in the other that bill. We've seen their best, so we're not impressed, so let's get priorities straight. And then for marriage and the patronising gestures ain't gonna change the state. While the people who care are prepared to act, the pantomime clowns keep the system intact. Shamming the commitment they obviously lack, but love those singers hate. Thanks! Alright Jack, shit on the fence. Alright Jill, shit on the fence. Alright Jack, shit on the fence. Alright Jack, Jill, shit on the fence.
But the fence is owned by America. Sit on the fence, owned by America. They make no pretense. It's owned by America. Sitting on the fence, owned by America. On their side, American troopers and bombs. On our side, the trash and consumer cars. We've been occupied, not just smashed and betrayed, but the spirit is untouched. Look out! Smash the man! Smash the man! Smash the man! Smash the big man! Smash the man! Smash the man! Smash the man! Smash the big man! Rock on, burgers, burnt out brain. Still on fat, deadly rain. Chemical colours, Kentucky green. Cut your teeth on American dreams. Singing chicken, American games. Licking shit in American rains. Kitty spit in American trains. Bombs to in American brains. You're on your back. Smash the man till it won't come back. Smash the man. You're on your back. Smash the man so it won't come back. American toys, America free. Do we join our misery? Our good museum and a stinking home. The natives hang on the wrong backbone. America owns, America wins. Comes in packets, ruffles, tins. Blinds our eyes, fills our ears. It's been our soul for 20 years. American tank, smash the man, smash the big man. Smash the man, make it crack. Smash the man, smash the big man. You stand among your war machines, looking for the light. Squaddies, grunts and Pepsi Cola wait to fight. The bricks of our world that you cover in plastic will sail through your plate glass windows. E.T. go home! E.T. go home!
Mickey Mouse, fuck off.
What happened to Crass, feel free? You are a member of Crass. Could you tell me what happened to them? We don't seem to hear their music at all. We don't see any of their records. They're not available anywhere. Can you tell us what has happened to Crass? This is a perfectly serious question. There's thousands of people throughout the world who are actively involved and interested in Crass, and Crass seem to be doing absolutely nothing whatsoever as an act of responsibility about this.
I think we have been very active over the last year, 2 years. Some of the records which have come out, Acts of Love, records by other bands, by Hit Parade, by DNV, by Co. are expressing something more than the simple hard-line statements. For the last 7 years, we, to a certain extent, and certainly punk, has been talking about how to fight the system. The breaking point of punk is that it didn't offer anything beyond the idea that you could smash the system. And what we are trying to show people, demonstrate to people, and offer them in the records, the written stuff we do, the images that we give, is that there is possibilities beyond the system, that there is something to look forward to, that there is something to work for, which is beyond the fences which hold us in, beyond the lines of policemen, beyond the government, beyond the nuclear arms.
In Acts of Love, your imagery is very, very different to what most people are accustomed to from Crass. It doesn't incorporate the normal sort of social comment. Do you really think that the average person who would listen to Crass records are going to be able to understand that sort of imagery?
I have no idea whatsoever whether people understand it. It's the best I can do, and that's...
Do you feel that you're offering some sort of glimpse of what exists beyond the normal barriers of political dogma?
Again, I mean, if it gives them a glimpse of anything, I hope it gives people a glimpse of themselves.
People can use as an excuse their passion against causes, certain things which are wrong in society, whereas in fact they're in a way hiding away from something which is within themselves. Hopefully we'll go on, but with renewed vision, if you like.
What do you feel that vision is?
Well, I think it's internal in everybody, more sort of looking to oneself and then speaking from there.
The reason for our popularity has been quite simply that people do recognise the spiritual value of what we've tried to offer, that we're not simply talking about hard, earthly, mortal facts, that we're talking about the potential and the value of the human spirit, that can rise above the mundanity and the horror of everyday life. Our whole culture, our whole way of life, for what it's worth, exists through the endeavours of the human spirit. I would suggest that Baudelaire's poems are actually more significant in history than Hiroshima was. Until we can climb out of our fear, until we are no longer intimidated by the warmongers, until we're no longer intimidated by the existence of the bomb, until we realise that the bomb is an utter irrelevance in the grand scale of our lives, in the grand scale of the world, in the grand scale of all the futures that ever existed, then we can't rise above that. We have to lift ourselves out of that fear and rise above it, because that's the only place that we can exist free of those fears and the many fears that exist beneath that.
Getting of it, for what it's been, so I'm saving TV, just on my feet. instead of talking, keep us on course. You don't know weary, substance voice, that's who I am, what's the living. Cause they do, I was the living. Cause they do, I was the living. Got it back at you.